Same-sex marriage has been declared legal in 6 states, 5 of them in New England, plus Iowa, bless its cotton socks. California also, for a time, issued marriage licenses to same-sex couples. But then, 50 weeks ago today, as progressives hailed the election of Barack Obama and a sweeping Democratic victory in the 2008 elections, conservatives' one bright spot for the evening was California's Proposition 8. Proposition 8 was an $83 million culture war, a ballot initiative that rescinded the existing rights of California's same-sex couples to get married. The California Supreme Court ultimately upheld Prop 8, and you may recall that driving infuriated proponents of same-sex marriage rights into California's streets. Well, today, an analogous ballot fight is underway in the great state of Maine, where the initiative to repeal existing same-sex marriage rights is called Question 1. A vote yes on Maine's Question 1 would be a vote to revoke the rights granted by Maine's marriage equality law. It was passed by the state legislature and signed earlier this year by the state's governor. The people leading the charge to revoke those rights are the same folks who worked to pass Proposition 8 in California. The Stand for Marriage campaign in Maine hired the exact same conservative anti-gay marriage PR company that ran the campaign in California. They're called Schubert Flint Public Affairs. And those professional PR guys trying to eliminate gay marriage rights in Maine like they did in California are using exactly the same campaign. Exactly. Watch closely and see if you can identify the similarities.
It's already happened in Massachusetts. Gay marriage will be taught in our schools unless we vote yes on Proposition 8.
Okay, that's California. Here's Maine.
It's already happened in Massachusetts. Vote yes on Question 1 to prevent homosexual marriage from being taught in Maine schools.
Do you think the anti-gay marriage people in Maine got their money's worth paying these PR guys for a whole new campaign? Yeah, they did change the actors, some of them. Right now in Maine, the latest poll numbers on Question 1 are dead even. The latest polling shows 48% of Mainers in favor of the measure and 48% opposed. Joining us now is Jesse Connolly. He's the campaign manager for the No on 1 campaign in Maine. Mr. Connolly, thanks very much for your time tonight.
Hey, thank you, Rachel, for having me on.
Is it right to characterize the anti-gay marriage campaign in Maine as a tactical rerun of Prop 8 in California?
Yeah, Rachel, I think that we're seeing here in Maine some very similar tactics that were put out in California by the same PR firm that you mentioned. But I think Maine people are fair-minded people that will hopefully see through these attacks, and we feel really confident about where this campaign is headed as we head into the last 2 weeks.
What are you doing differently in Maine from the folks who lost on Proposition 8 in California? I know that you've studied some of that campaign and the strategy on both sides.
Yeah, Rachel, this is something that we haven't gone to overnight. This has been a multi-year effort by advocates that knew this was a two-pronged approach. They knew that they would need to be successful both in the state legislature and have the governor sign it, and then also simultaneously build for this people's veto referendum clause that we have in our campaign. So we've been working very hard. Advocates have been working very hard for over a year now to make sure we're in the best position to win this November 3rd.
In terms of your strategy, though, tell me how you're going to do it. I mean, I know the polling is tied right now. As far as I understand it, same-sex marriage has a record of something like 0-30 at the ballot box. I know that you're an experienced Maine campaigner. What makes you think that your campaign could be first to win?
Well, Rachel, I think a couple things are going on right now that we like to highlight. One, this is an off-year election where turnout is going to be very critical. We feel that the field effort that we've put on the ground that's been building for over years, just second to none. I'll put our organizers that have been working day in and day out against everyone else. And we also have a really experienced team of seasoned political veterans that are putting forth some really important messages that are going out on the airways. So we feel that the combination of our field effort that's been going on for the past year and the paid media that we've been pushing will really sort of make sure that Maine voters understand just how critical it is to vote no this November 3rd.
On Proposition 8, some of the common wisdom, and it's common wisdom actually that I share, was that the anti-gay marriage forces knew exactly what they were doing, and that the pro-gay marriage forces were slightly blindsided by that loss. And more importantly, perhaps, gay rights supporters nationwide, both gay people and people who support gay rights, were taken aback by Prop 8, somewhat galvanized by it, and I wonder if you've benefited from that. If gay rights supporters around the country have decided to support Question 1 in Maine, the No on 1 effort, because they frankly feel guilty that enough wasn't done to stop Prop 8.
Well, you know, I can't really talk about Prop 8, but I really am very excited about the levels of support we're seeing, both from Maine people, but also from folks around the country. They're donating their time. They're coming here on what we're calling a volunteer vacation to come and volunteer on this campaign, to do the hard work that we need to do in the field. And I think, Rachel, it's also critical that, you know, we've looked at the playbook of the other side. As you said in your opening, these are the exact same ads that are putting forth, and we think our ads that have been done by a great firm, McMahon Squire, really put these guys back in their box, and we're not going to let anything go unchallenged. We push back very hard. We push back very quickly. The combination of those ads along with our field effort is critical for our success, and we think we're going to be very, hopefully be very successful this November 3rd.
Jesse, one last question. I understand that the Catholic Church, particularly the Portland Diocese, has been played a major role on the other side, including sort of passing the collection plate for donations against gay marriage. What are there religious dynamics at work here, and has that complicated the effort at all for you guys?
You know, there are, but I think they're on both sides of the issue. We have a very active Catholics for Marriage Equality effort that's going on in our campaign. When the Catholic Diocese went out and did a second collection at the parishes, we had our supporters that were out there really, making sure that the message of full equality is not something that one side of the religious podium gets to claim for themselves. And we've really looked at putting people of faith in front of this campaign as leaders of this campaign, as spokespeople for this campaign. And it's really important that that message that, full equality is something that people of all faith deserve is really resonating here in our state.
Jesse Connolly, campaign manager for No on 1, Protect Maine Equality. I can tell just from looking at those very sober, serious people behind you that this is it. You guys are waging a very serious effort there. So feel free to tell them that they can smile and laugh now that the segment's over.
Thanks, Rachel. We'd love to have you come up in Maine as well. So thanks so much for having us.
Thanks, Jesse. Appreciate it. Good luck to you.